Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down some really powerful ideas from Lewis Howes, all about building relationships that actually last. And spoiler alert, it all starts with changing ourselves from the inside out.
So let's just dive right in with a big one. A question I'm pretty sure we've all asked ourselves at some point. Why is it that so many relationships just don't make it, even when we have the best intentions? What really makes a connection stick? And what are those hidden things that seem to tear them apart?
Well, to help us figure that out, we're going to look at the framework from Lewis Howes. Now, if you don't know him, his story is pretty incredible. He was a pro athlete, right? But after a major injury ended his career, he had this huge realization. His biggest challenge wasn't some opponent on the field. Nope. It was the stuff from his past, the unhealed trauma, that was actually wrecking his chances at real connection.
Okay, so first things first, we have to talk about our inner saboteurs. These are those unconscious patterns that are quietly destroying our connections. And the crazy part is, most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it. And a big one is people-pleasing. This usually starts way back when we're kids. It's like a survival skill, right? We learn to be what others want us to be just to feel safe and loved. But here's the problem. When we bring that into our adult relationships, it's basically a form of self-betrayal. We start silencing what we really need just to keep the peace, but that peace is fake. It's just a thin layer on top of all this resentment that's building up inside.
And this quote from Howes just hits it on the head. It totally flips the script on what it means to be nice. He's saying the biggest relationship killer isn't fighting, it's abandoning yourself. Real connection isn't about avoiding rough patches. It's about being true to who you are. You just can't build something real by sacrificing your own truth.
Then there's what he calls the Mask of Masculinity. And look, this really isn't just about men. It's about this old-school, rigid idea of strength that a lot of us are taught, the idea that showing your feelings makes you weak. When we put on that mask, pretending to be invulnerable, our partner isn't connecting with the real us. They're connecting with an image, and you just can't have real intimacy with an image.
And this is the core of it. True strength is having the guts to let someone see who you really are, flaws and all. Taking that mask off, that's not weakness. According to Howes, it is the only way to build a relationship that's actually honest and deeply fulfilling. It's the ultimate act of courage.
So you might be wondering, where does all this stuff, the masks, the people-pleasing, even come from? Well, that's what we're digging into next. We're going to look at the root cause and see how our past is, well, not so past after all. It's showing up in our relationships right now.
Okay, think about this. You ever had one of those moments in a relationship where you have a huge emotional reaction and later you think, whoa, where did that come from? Howes says that's not your adult self reacting. That's your wounded inner child taking the wheel. These triggers, they aren't random. They're like little blinking lights on a roadmap, pointing directly to the parts of us that still need healing.
And this chart here just lays it out so clearly. It's the difference between reacting and responding. On one side, you've got that impulsive defensive reaction. That's the child. On the other, you have the adult, who can pause, take responsibility, and choose a different path. Making that shift, that's what emotional maturity is all about. And this quote is just so important. You can't build a healthy future if you're stuck in the past. It's a huge reminder that it's not our partner's job to heal us. That work, that responsibility, is ours and ours alone.
All right, so we've looked at the problems, the inner saboteurs, the childhood wounds. Now for the good stuff, the solution. And what Lewis Howes proposes for building a strong foundation for love, it might not be what you expect. This is where we get super practical.
Okay, so check out this hierarchy. He says it's got to be in this order. Number 1, your health. Mental, physical, the whole deal. Number 2, your mission, your purpose. And only then, number 3, comes the relationship. Why? Because this is the ultimate antidote to codependency. A great relationship isn't two halves making a whole. It's two whole people, each on their own mission, coming together to make something even better.
And this quote nails it. If you don't have your own mission in life, you'll make the relationship your mission. And that puts a crazy amount of pressure on it. It's a recipe for disaster. The big takeaway here is that the strongest partnerships are made of two people who are already lit up by their own purpose, coming together to support each other's greatness.
All right, so once you have that strong foundation, you're healthy, you're on your mission, now we can talk about the actual practice of lasting love. What are the skills we need day to day to create that deep connection?
And Howes says most of us have this completely backward. We think that a great relationship means you never fight. But he argues it's the exact opposite. Real trust, the deep stuff, isn't built when things are easy.
It's forged in the fire of those uncomfortable conversations, when you choose to tell the truth even when it's scary.
But for that kind of honesty to actually work, you have to build a safe space together. And look, a safe space doesn't mean you never disagree. Not at all. It means you've both committed to a set of rules. We value truth over comfort. We listen to understand, not just to win. And we don't punish each other for being vulnerable. It's a space where the truth can land safely.
And this is the skill that makes that safe space possible: emotional regulation. It's the difference between being driven by your impulses, reactivity, and being guided by your values. When you can regulate, you're in the driver's seat. Your emotions aren't controlling you, and they aren't controlling the relationship.
And this quote really just sums up the whole philosophy. The quality of your entire life comes down to how many of those tough conversations you're willing to have. It's not easy, but it's the only path to a love that's truly real and free.
And here's the really cool part. This isn't just about your relationship. When you do this inner work, it creates this incredible domino effect. You free up all this mental energy that you can now pour into your career. The stress goes down, so your health gets better. You start attracting better friends. It literally improves every single part of your life. Which brings us to this final, powerful idea. This journey of healing, ultimately, it's not just for you. It's about taking your biggest struggles and turning them into your greatest gift. You're not just fixing your own life, you're creating a legacy that can inspire everyone around you. So the real question isn't just about how to find lasting love, it's about how your personal healing journey can become your gift to the world.